Hey guys, let's get ready to warm up. We have downward dog to runner lunges first. So you're gonna step back, feet hip width apart, and get a good stretch in the back of those legs, and then step one leg to the outside of your hand. Make sure you drop your hips down as you reach forward, and that gets a good stretch in the front of the hips, while that down dog gets a good stretch in the back. Now, if that's too rough for you, you can grab a chair and do a modified. Just sit those hips back, get a good stretch, and then step your foot forward to the outside of your chair and just keep alternating. Same principle applies. Just bring your hips back on that down dog and then push those hips forward on that runner lunge. Next up is child's pose. To seal stretch, you're going to start off kneeling, bring your hips back, drop your chest down, stretch those arms forward, and then bring your hips forward and stretch your head all the way up. Keep those shoulders away from the ears as you do this stretch, and then just try to move those hips back and forth as much as possible, gaining more flexibility in the hips. Now the last part of our warm-up is a roll up to butterfly stretch. You're going to start seated on your butt and then tuck in, roll it back nice and easy. Spread those knees apart and then reach forward towards your feet to stretch. This stretch is really, really good for those inner thighs. Just brace that core as you roll back so you don't hurt your back and plop back hard onto the floor. You want a nice soft roll back and rolling it up. First circuit, we have a 2-minute AMRAP ongoing. We're going to start off with 5 burpees. So regular burpees, you're just going to place your hands to the floor, jump back into a plank, jump forward, and then jump it all the way up. Keep that core nice and tight. And then if you are unable to do the regular burpees, you can also do modified. Grab a chair and do the same movement. You're going to just jump back into a plank, jump forward, and then raise those arms up overhead. Keep that core braced. Now after the burpees, you're going to do 10 push-ups. You can do regular push-ups, hands underneath your shoulder, toes curled back, legs straight. Tuck that pelvis under and lower your whole body down as low as you possibly can, keeping those abs braced. And now a modified version would be to keep your knees on the floor. You still are going to keep your pelvis tucked under, abs braced, and try to lower your chest down as low as you can to the floor, keeping those abs nice and tight. Third, we have these Superman passes. So if you have a light dumbbell or maybe some light canned goods, I got my salsa verde there. I'm going to start showing you with the light dumbbell. It's just about 2 pounds. So you're going to be in a Superman position, squeeze your butt, elevate your legs and arms, and you're just going to pass the weight back and forth in a circular motion. And now same thing goes if you have canned goods, or you could also use car keys, your phone, whatever. You don't need a very heavy weight for this one. Our next one, we have 40 skater jumps. So you're going to just leap side to side, take a huge jump as big as you can, or if you cannot jump, take a big step side to side, reach opposite hand to opposite foot. Following the skater jumps, we have jumping jacks, 50 of them, and just good old regular jumping jacks, or if you need a modified version, you can just step out and raise your hands up overhead. Final move in our circuit one, we have high knees. You got 100 of them. So each one counts. Just pick them up really, really high, or you can march it out if jumping's an issue. Just punch those knees up. For our active recovery in this first circuit, we have 5 V-ups. If you can, keep your legs straight, deep breath out, and try to reach up for those toes, balancing at the top. But if you're unable to do that version, then you could always do the bent knee version. Still sitting up, breathe out on the way up, and try to balance at the top with the bent knees. Or you could also just crunch it up, pull those knees in, lift the head and shoulder blades off the ground. Now on to circuit 2. We're going to start off with 25 on each arm, single arm kettlebell swings. So you can alternate like I'm doing here, or you can just stick to one side and then do the other. Make sure you hinge at the hips, brace that core, squeeze those glutes on the way up. Second exercise, 20 dumbbell snatches. So you're going to grab your dumbbell feet wide apart and squat down, drive that elbow up and punch it straight up to the ceiling. Bring that weight back down to the floor and alternate for this one. Make sure you keep that core tight, pull that rib cage in. Third, we have dumbbell thrusters, 15 of them. Have your weights right at your shoulders, feet hip to shoulder width apart, and just squat all the way down. Punch those weights up to the ceiling. Keep that core nice and tight. For our last round 2 exercise, we have 10 on each side, step up and hops. So grab any kind of step or a stair and your dumbbells and just step up, hop at the top as much as you can. I'm trying not to fall because these mats are a little bit wiggly, but do what you can. Now our active recovery for circuit 2. 20 frog sit-ups. You're going to sit with your feet together, knees apart, and just try to sit up. Make sure you're tucking that pelvis under, rounding that spine. We don't want your back to just plop flat onto the floor and just kind of shoot straight flat up. That won't feel too good. And you'll feel it better in your core if you're rolling down lower, middle, upper back, and rolling up the same way. Bye. Great job.